Hello, I'm Brian David Phillips, and this is my Hypnocast, a periodic web broadcast of information and techniques for hypnosis, focused trance, guided imagery, meditation, and neurolinguistic programming. This week, I'm going to talk a little bit about a very special process that is near and dear to my heart. It is a variation of a tarot-based process that I've taught before in an earlier broadcast of the Hypnocast. So go ahead and go back to that episode if you'd like to listen to the MP3 that uses 3 cards in the process. But this week we're doing a video broadcast, and I'd like you to just imagine and think, what if you could take a tarot card and step inside the world represented by that card. This is an experiential trance technique. It uses a lot of associative conditioning. Basically, it can just be a simple guided imagery if you like. But for me, when I run the process, first, induce hypnosis. However you're comfortable doing that, I tend to use a Phillips Elman-based induction, or I'll use an instant induction, and you've seen some of those in previous episodes of the Hypnocast as well. Once you've induced hypnosis, make sure you have somnambulism, and if you're not sure how to do that, then I'd encourage you to look at some of the earlier Hypnocasts. Look at my webpage at www.briandavidphillips.com for some valuable information and techniques there. Also, I'd encourage you to have some real live training. I periodically have trainings myself, so go ahead and keep an eye on my webpage so that you can see when I have my next training, and be sure to sign up. But advertising for courses and CDs and the like aside, there's some really valuable free information on the webpage as well. www.briandavidphillips.com. You can also join my email list for the Society of Experiential Trance and get involved with discussion. There's a lot of very, very experienced and giving people on the Hypnosis Technique Exchange who would be more than happy to answer your worthwhile questions. Now, back to the tarot process. This week we're doing a single card process using a tarot deck. Now I happen to have a tarot deck here. If you can, well, I have it upside down, very clever of me. This is a pocket-sized deck that I actually carry around with me. Every once in a while I'll use the deck. But I'm not using it for fortune telling, so if you're uncomfortable with fortune telling, that's not what this process is about. It's about introspective meditation and experiential trance. Basically, after you have induced hypnosis and you've made sure that the person is okay using tarot cards, I use tarot cards for this because of the pictures. I like to use a deck that has human images on every single card so that we have much more to draw from. You don't have to use tarot. You can use other pictures. They can choose a card, or they can randomly have one come out. You can use a photo book. You can use other card decks, Magic the Gathering, Wyvern, even Yu-Gi-Oh, or your favorite Playboy or Penthouse deck if that's your thing. But as long as there's illustrations that can draw the unconscious, that's all we need. All right. Now, I like tarot for this, and I like this particular pocket-sized universal tarot deck because the back of the cards have a very nice image that you can lock in and fixate. So, induce hypnosis, explain the process. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to open your eyes. And when I do, you'll see a deck of cards in front of you. I'd like you to focus on that and feel as if energy is pulling you to the deck. There's a positive, imaginative connection. Anytime you do an experiential trance technique, you really must have imaginative involvement, and that needs to be intensified. That's why in my definition of hypnosis, I use the expression intensified imaginative involvement as part of the way we bypass the critical factor of the conscious mind. Now, once you've got that, they open their eyes and they're connected to the deck, and you can mime a line between the person and the deck, and imagine then that that connection gets stronger and stronger. Make sure you use writer suggestion words like you'll have a positive experience, things like that. Then have the person imagine as if one of their hands, usually I refer to the right or the left, depending on the handedness of the person, that hand is being drawn to the top card of the deck. Now they can shuffle or you can shuffle, it doesn't really matter, or they can select a card before, or they can randomly pick one. I like random picks, but as they imagine their hand getting closer and closer to the deck, it becomes as if it's a magnet, and the more they try to pull it away, the closer and more powerful it becomes, until when they touch that top card, it's as if a beautiful, powerful energy explodes through them. Make sure it's positive. And always, always make sure you frame this entire process as a positive one. And then have them feel that when they hold the card up and they look at it, they can feel an energy. And have them imagine as they look at their card that they fixate on it. You get fixation, eye fixation, you get imaginative involvement, and then you progress it to an intensification of the use of the senses. So, imagine first that the border, the white border around this card, becomes a gate, like a doorway into another world. And they can imagine the images in the card going back as if they're becoming larger and more real. Then what I like to do is have them imagine that that energy in the card is drawing it to their mind. And as they look at the card, it becomes more and more real, more and more solid. Their hand begins moving towards their face. And when the card touches their face, their eyes close, the hand drops, they go into a deep state, and they imagine as if they are walking into the world of the card, into the world of tarot. Once they've done that, you then accelerate the senses. Make sure you're using writer suggestions that are positive. You'll have a very positive and powerful and good experience. You're about to have a lesson, an adventure, or journey with the guides within the cards that your unconscious feels would be a valuable experience for you. And once they're doing that, what you smell is real, you hear it's as if it's real, you feel it as if it's real, taste as if it's real, hear as if it's real, smell as if it's real, taste as if it's real, touch as if it's real. All of the senses, you got to accelerate that as if it's real. And you make sure they really, really feel it, so that when they have the experience, it's experiential, which is it's as if it's real. And of course, some people, some natural somnambulists, they'll get that right away. They'll have a very powerful, positive experience as if it's completely and totally real. Others may not, but they'll still have a guided imagery experience that's very powerful and very, very positive and wonderful. So you can accelerate all of those senses and all of that imaginative involvement until you create a wonderful, wonderful experience just for that person. And then shut up. Let them have their adventure. Let them have their positive, imaginative experience. Once they've had it, you can then give a signpost suggestion in a moment. It's time to come back to the here and now. And so I'll count from 1 to 3, and at the number 3, you will step through the card back into this world. 1, 2, 3, you step through and the card returns to its card size. And you can look at it and remember all your positive experiences that you experienced in the world of tarot. And that's pretty much the process. I've used it recreationally with people. I've used it for therapy, where you then hedge the suggestions and you leverage that into therapeutic suggestions. And I've just used it for fun. It can be very, very richly rewarding in any context. Therapy, education, entertainment, and adult recreational or general audience recreational. Depending upon what words you use and leverage the suggestion with, you can have a very powerful, wonderful experience. Now, this is a longer edition of the Hypnocast because I haven't really had many episodes in the last, for a while. So I'm going to actually let you see a couple examples of me running this with people during the very first session they have ever been hypnotized. So these are first-time hypnotees using this process after the induction and the testing for somnambulism, and you'll see how the process can be run differently. Now, it's just a process, it's not a script. Don't memorize what I say, just learn the basics of the process, and with your own clients or trance partners you can play with the process yourself and have a wonderful, wonderful experience. This is Brian David Phillips for the Hypnocast, and please remember, go to my web pages at www.briandavidphillips.com. Check for products, services, and courses, as well as links to communities and resources. Thank you, and good day. That feels nice. In fact, it feels so nice, I'd like you to give me your hand. Are you right or left-handed?
Right.
Right-handed. Okay, then give me this one. Okay? Alright, look here. Sleep. Eyes closed, even deeper. Breathe in. Breathe out, relax. Now in a moment I'm going to ask you to open your eyes. We're going to do something very, very special. In a moment I'm going to ask you to open your eyes, and I'd like you to notice that I'm holding tarot cards. Now I know you know what tarot cards are, right? And I'd like you to notice that these are special tarot cards. So when you look at the deck, you feel an energy connecting you to the deck, like a powerful feeling. And in a moment, we're going to do something special with this deck. Is that all right with you? Now, this is not for fortune telling. This is something else. So I'd like you to open your eyes and feel an energy connecting you and the deck. And if you look here, you can feel that energy even stronger, can't you? Like a powerful feeling of connection. And if I shuffle the cards, as I shuffle the cards, okay, I want you to feel that energy even stronger. And I want you to notice something very interesting as you look at the cards and you feel that energy even powerful. Breathe in, breathe out, relax, knowing that in a moment your hand is going to begin moving by itself. Connected to the cards, it will touch the top card by itself. Breathing in, that energy getting stronger now. And when it touches that top card, it will draw the card. And something very special will happen as the energy begins pulling it now, and it begins rising by itself. And you feel yourself locked in, focused on that point, looking at the cards and feeling the energy. As the energy now begins to move, your hand begins to rise and your body relaxing more and more. And the hand begins to rise, and as it rises it goes faster, and the energy becomes more positive, more wonderful, more peaceful, more love, more joy. And as it touches, feel the connection. Feel a connection between yourself and that card. In a moment you will draw the top card and you will look at it. Draw the top card and you look at it and hold it up in front of yourself. Now this is your card. It's a special card just for you. And as you look at the image in the card, look at the image in the card and imagine as you breathe in, that energy becomes stronger. In a moment, you're going to step into the world of the card and you're going to have an imagination experience that is perfect and positive just for you. Something your unconscious will teach you, a lesson, an adventure that your unconscious allows you to have with this card. And as you look at the card, imagine now that the border around the card becomes solid, like a doorway, like a portal, a gateway. And notice the figures in the card, they move back like they become real. And in a moment, your hand will begin moving the card towards your eyes as that energy gets stronger. And when the card touches your face, your hand drops, the eyes close, and in your mind you step into that world and it becomes as if it's real. And you will meet the figures in the card and they will guide you on a special adventure, a private adventure just for you, that your unconscious allows you to have this experience for a positive lesson, or simply just a positive experience your unconscious wishes you to have. And as the hand gets closer, you can imagine that energy getting stronger now. The energy getting stronger and stronger, like it's pulling towards you. And when the hand touches your face, the hand drops, the eyes close, and you find yourself stepping in. The doorway now gets bigger, becoming bigger and bigger, and the figures become bigger as if they are real. And imagine you can begin hearing the sounds of the world of the cards. Imagine you can begin seeing the figures. Imagine you can smell the flowers. Imagine you can feel the soft sunlight. And imagine when it touches your face, that feeling gets even stronger as your eyes close and you step into that world and it becomes as if it's real. As if it's real. And the hand drops, the eyes close, the card becomes real as you step into that world. And right now you can see it, you can feel it, you can taste and touch. And walk up to the guides of the cards and you'll have a wonderful adventure as if it's real. And every breath in, it becomes even more real. And every breath out, the good feeling gets stronger. Feel it in your body. Feel it in your mind. And feel it in your spirit. A positive, wonderful experience. A lesson from this card that's special just for you. Perhaps you can see the images as if you're there. Perhaps you can hear the sounds as if they're real. Smell the smells. So a touch is real. A sight is real. A sound is real. A smell is real. A taste is real. And imagine that wonderful feeling washing through you as you have a positive experience just for you. That's right. For the next few moments, let all the sounds around you focus you and experience that feeling more powerfully. Beautiful feeling, beautiful experience just for you. yourself to this feeling, this positive, beautiful experience. In your mind's eye, imagine it just for you. And whatever you imagine in this positive, joyful, peaceful, good experience, it becomes as if it's real. When you have learned or experienced this beautiful, positive experience, in the next few moments, this finger will move, and it will be a wonderful feeling. It's time to come back to the here and now, knowing it's time to leave the card. So, knowing you can come back anytime you wish, I'd like you to thank your guides for this experience. And in a moment I'll count from 1 to 3, and at the number 3, imagine you step back through the card, back into the here and the now. 1. Keeping this experience, knowing you could return anytime you wish. 3. Back to the here and now. Now, in a moment, I'm once again going to ask you to open your eyes. And when you open your eyes, you will notice I am holding a deck of cards. These aren't cards like any cards. These are tarot cards. You know what tarot cards are? Now, most people use these for fortune telling, right? But we're going to use it for something else. We're going to use it for something very wonderful. So as you open your eyes, I'd like you to imagine you could feel an energy connecting you to the cards. Eyes open and feel an energy connecting you. Now this is a positive experience. You'll enjoy this. So first, as you feel the connection, you feel the connection? These cards have many pictures on them, right? And most people use the pictures to tell their fortunes. But these are actually archetypes. You know what archetypes are, right? And so they're lessons. And within the cards, we can learn about ourselves. So what I'm going to do is I will shuffle the cards. And as I shuffle, I'd like you to feel a powerful connection to the cards. Okay. Now, in a moment, I'm going to ask you to notice the cards. I'd like you to imagine that this star on the back draws you in, like the energy at the center of the universe. Remember that unconditional love and feel it even more powerfully. What I'd like you to imagine now is this hand can feel that connection. So this hand begins to feel the energy, and this hand begins to be drawn to the cards. And by itself, you'll notice this hand begins to move. And as it moves, it will place itself on the top card, like an energy pulling it in stronger and stronger and stronger. And as it does so, I'd like you to imagine that within the cards there's a very special thing waiting for you. A lesson, an adventure, just for you. Now we don't know which card you will draw, but we know that that card has a special lesson or meaning just for you. And as your hand touches, you'll feel that energy increase. Powerful. And as you draw the top card and look at it, you'll notice an immediate connection to that card. You'll feel like that card contains a positive, good lesson for you. And you hold that card up and you look at it. Now as you look at the card, imagine you can feel the energy coming from the card becoming stronger and more powerful. And feel that energy. You feel that? Getting stronger and stronger. And as you look at the card, imagine as I count that the border around the card becomes more solid, like a gateway. And as I count, the figures in the card go back and become three-dimensional, as if they're becoming real. 5. The gateway becoming larger. 4. The figures becoming real. 3. As if you're looking into a doorway into another world. In a moment, I will count from 5 to 1. With each number I say, that card becomes more real, and it is drawn to you. And when the card touches your head, your arm drops, your eyes close, and you step into the gateway. And there you will meet the guides, the figures in the card, who will give you a lesson, take you on a journey where you will learn something valuable for you, something personal, related to the image of the card, something private but very positive. And as it gets closer to your face, notice it becomes more larger and more real, so that when it touches your mind, your eyes close and you step into the world and you see it as if it's real. Meeting the guardians, meeting the guides. That's right. And you can just relax. As you step into the world of the tarot, you can relax. And there, imagine as if you can see it, as if it's real. Breathe the air of the world of tarot. Smell the smells of the flowers. Hear the sounds. Taste the air. Now you can step forward and meet your guides. And for the next few moments, you can imagine something powerful that will bring a personal lesson, the meaning of the card for you, and experience it as real as you can. That's right. Every sound around you relaxing you more and more. notice how powerful it feels as you imagine it as real as you can. Really feel the experience. Really hear the sounds, smell the sound, the smells, hear the sounds, taste the taste, and feel the touch. A positive lesson just for you. And when you have completed your journey and learned this valuable lesson, either consciously or unconsciously, it doesn't matter. In the next few moments, when you have finished the journey and received the lesson, this finger will move. But as you experience it, it becomes real. That's right. You're doing perfectly. Now in a moment, I will count from 1 to 3. And with each number, you come back to the here and now. Say thank you to your guides, knowing that any time you wish, you can return to this world by taking a card and doing what we just did and learning a valuable lesson just for you. 1, thanking your guides, saying goodbye. 2, going back to the portal through the gateway. 3, back to the here and now, and all is well. Eyes open, feeling wonderful. How do you feel? All right. Now, in a moment, I'm going to ask you to open your eyes. When you open your eyes, you'll notice that I have some cards in my hands. These are tarot cards. Do you know what tarot cards are? All right. Now, we're not going to use them for fortune telling. We're going to use them for something else, something wonderful. Is that all right with you? Now, as you open your eyes and you look at the cards, I'd like you to imagine an energy connecting you to the cards. All right. Breathing in, opening your eyes, feeling wonderful. Now, these are the cards. These are tarot cards, so they have pictures. Now, some people say these pictures have meaning. Some people tell fortunes, but we're not going to do that. What I want you to do is imagine that as I shuffle the cards, I want you to imagine energy connecting you to the card, like a connection here and stronger, okay? And as we place the cards on the table, and we'll cut it into different piles, and we'll mix the piles together, I'd like you to look right here. And imagine as you look at that star, it begins pulling you in. So that there's an energy pulling you close to the car. A connection. A power. You feel that? Now I'd like you to imagine your left hand begins moving towards that car. Like that energy begins drawing it towards it. And you can feel that hand beginning to move. And as it moves, the energy gets stronger and stronger. As that hand is drawn to the deck of cards, a powerful energy flows through you, stronger and stronger. And imagine as it gets closer and closer, that energy gets even more powerful, even more powerful, even more powerful. As your hand reaches over and touches the top of the card, feel it powerful, like a magnet, like a powerful, powerful force. As your hand now picks up that top card, you feel an energy like a whoosh flow through you. A powerful, loving energy, a positive energy. You feel that. Feel it even stronger. Do you feel that energy now? Feel it even stronger. As your hand picks it up, I'd like you to turn it the card. Turn the card and look at it. Now imagine yourself looking at that card that you drew for you. And feel that energy stronger and stronger. And feel your unconscious communicate to you so that that card becomes a loop of power and energy. And in a moment, I'm going to count from 10 to 1. And I'd like you to notice something very special. That as you look at that card, 10, the border around the card becomes more solid. 9, as if it becomes a gateway. 8, and the images in the card become back from the gate. 7, as they become real. 6, as if you're looking through a window or a gate or a door. 5, and in a moment, with each number I say, imagine that connection to this gateway gets stronger, and your hand begins moving towards your face. And when the card touches your face, your eyes close, and you feel yourself stepping through the gate into that world of the tarot. And the figures in the card become your guides, and they will take you on a journey and teach you a special lesson from this card that has special meaning just for you. A positive lesson of love, peace, and understanding. Something you need to learn right now as your unconscious helps you develop this wonderful, powerful ability. 5, it gets stronger as you begin to see the figures begin to take shape. 4, they become more real. 3, the gateway becomes large and huge. 2, almost there. At the next number, the card touches your face, your eyes close, and you step into the gateway as your arm drops into a beautiful, beautiful, deep relaxation. And 1, stepping into the gateway. Stepping into the gateway. That's right. Stepping into the gateway. That's right. And there you can walk up and you can meet the guides of the card, and they will lead you on a special adventure, a lesson just for you. And feel it as if it's real in your imagination. So you can smell the flowers, you can see the colors, you can taste the sweetness of the air. Whatever you feel, for the next few moments, let that experience be as real as you need it to be, as you learn a special lesson from the cards, just for you. And as you have this special adventure, you can continue breathing deeply and relaxing more and more, and feel that special lesson as love washes through you. Notice you can feel it in your body. Experience it in your mind, and how your spirit connects to this wonderful experience. And when your unconscious has made sure that you now understand this beautiful experience and lesson just for you, in the next few moments, this finger can move when you are ready. That's right. And let a beautiful feeling of thanks and joy wash through you, as you can thank your unconscious for helping you understand this beautiful lesson. It's now time to come back to the here and now, so you can now say farewell to your guides, knowing that any time you like, you can re-enter this special world in the same way. Is that all right with you? Wonderful. Breathe in. Breathe out. In a moment I will count 1 to 5. And at the number 5, you have returned to this world. With each number, you step back through the gateway, and the gate becomes a card once again. And at the number 5, your eyes open. You are fully alert, refreshed, clear-headed, and feeling wonderful. 1, coming back to the here and now. 2, 3, 4, and fully alert. 5, clear head. How you feel? Feel good? Okay.